Okay, so what are the typical challenges that we face to reach a certain level? Matrix has reached a certain level of ASPICE, so that was a long journey. Yeah, we have underestimated it years ago. We thought we would be reaching it much earlier, but it took much longer than to achieve the maturity level that we wanted to achieve. So what advices do you have for companies like us in order to reach the ASPICE maturity level they want to?
Yeah. Main advice, of course, spend enough resources in general. Yeah? Resources, which means depending on your current status, yeah? What have you already established regarding processes, tools, methods, templates, and so on. Based on the current situation, you have to define a plan with enough time in between in order to reach a certain target level. Yeah? So let's assume the worst case. Yeah? You don't have any process in place. Yeah? So you have to think about, first of all, your organization itself. Yeah? What are the main responsibilities, departments, who takes care of what? Yeah? Yeah? Do you have a complete development team, or do you have a split team with a testing team, with a software team, a system team, and so on? And based on that situation, you can think about how to structure your processes. And if you want to reach a SPICE level 3, which is a typical requirement of the OEMs, you should not define an approach that says, okay, I want to reach a SPICE level 3 within half a year, within 6 months. Yeah? If you really start from scratch, it makes absolutely no sense. You have to do this stepwise and to think about, okay, how to fulfill the basics. Yeah? The basic requirements, the base practices of Autonomous SPICE are level 1. Yeah? This typically means the biggest effort. Yeah? If you plan less than 1 year for one level, then typically there's a high risk to fail. Yeah? Because it's not only to define processes, they really must be established, they must be trained. Yeah? You have to involve the people. You have to ensure that the people understand them and see the benefit. Yeah? If in a project, and I see this very often in my assessments, people say, if I ask them, okay, why do you do that? Why do you create that document? And people tell me, yeah, because the standard demands it. Because you as an assessor, you want to see it. Then completely failed. Yeah? I will immediately say, no, then stop it. If you don't have your own purpose for it, yeah, then don't continue to work on this document. Yeah? Yeah? You have to think about your own purpose. Why do you need a requirement specification? Yeah, because the tester needs an input. He wants to know what to test in the end. Yeah? If he does not know what are the requirements for the product, what shall this person really check in the end? Yeah? What are the verification activities? Yeah? Of course, based on his experience, a tester can do some checks, of course. Yeah? Yeah? But you can never prove that it's complete, or if you really cover all the relevant functionality. So you need a specification of the demanded requirements. Yeah? That's the purpose of a requirement specification. Not because SPICE is demanding specify software requirements. Yeah? That's not the reason. SPICE just reminds you, hey, please think about requirements. Yeah? You need them. You will need them in order to derive architecture, in order to do a good implementation that implements everything, and in order to derive and perform tests. Yeah? That's the purpose. And that's my idea, what I tell the people. Yeah? Don't tell me what I want to hear. Yeah? Many companies prepare their developers, okay, if the assessor is asking that, then answer like that. Yeah? That's nonsense. You don't need to prepare people for an assessment. Yeah? It's completely okay to have a first introduction session, yeah? to describe what is an assessment, yeah, in general. Yeah? But one standard question from my side is, okay, let's assume tomorrow I have to start in your company. I have to work on your software architectural design. What do I have to do? Yeah? How do you create a software architectural design? Yeah? More like a new colleague, yeah? and less as the assessor. Yeah? That's from my side the best approach.